It is super late at night. I mean, look at my little buddy over here. He's dead ass asleep. He's just super duper knocked out. But we had a lot of baseball news, stuff breaking left and right. If you're a Braves fan, you're like, heck yeah. If you're a Twins fan, you're like, heck yeah. If you're a Phillies fan, you're like, heck yeah. I mean, if you're an Astros fan, you're probably like, what the hell? Weird night and a busy night, to be honest with you. All right, so let's just knock the big one out of the park right here, okay? Braves fans, I know you like to see, as a Braves fan, for me, you like to see me reacting to Braves. We're getting there, okay? We're getting there, but the big piece, Carlos Correa has signed with the Minnesota Twins. Now, we knew the Minnesota Twins were going to be doing something because they had just traded Donaldson, freeing up money in kind of an odd trade, if you will. Freed up some money. Everybody had thought it was going to be Trevor Story at this point, but they shocked the world and they get Carlos Correa, who many had tabbed either going to Baltimore for a fat $300-something million deal is rumored to be offered, or going back to the Houston Astros, his home, all that good stuff where he's absolutely beloved. With Carlos Correa coming into the season as a 27-year-old, people figured that since he's a free agent, he's gonna be signing a 10-year deal. We're gonna see some long thing, like a Corey Seager kind of deal. And instead, he's gonna opt to sign a 3-year deal with Minnesota for $105.3 million. Now, that's pretty beefy. Now, I'm not a mathematician, but I have a calculator on my phone, so some quick math, that's gonna be $35.1 million. That actually makes him the second highest position player in baseball, just behind Mike Trout and just ahead of Anthony Rendon, who was now the second highest infielder in baseball. Did I say that right? I think I did. You get what I'm saying. I, for one, am kind of shocked to see this. I mean, Twins, I'm shocked that Minnesota was the target for him. And then also, it was rumored that the Houston Astros had offered him at least $32 million a year for 5 years. I don't know. I figured he would have probably taken that over a 3-year deal. He does get 2 opt-outs in this. So after this season, he can opt out. Minnesota, if he has a solid season at all, I would expect him to do so. And then, of course, if he can also opt out the season after. I mean, obviously, Correa gets to hit the market again. He'll just be entering his 28-year-old season next year. So he's going to be able to have still a commanding power in the free agent market. And let's be honest, the free agent market this year was chock full of really good shortstops. I mean, hell, Trevor Story's still a free agent. So to a degree, it makes sense, but it's not like anybody was not going to pay for his services. I'm very confused. I mean, hell, Baltimore has such a nice farm system that you know they're going to be good coming up soon, and they offered you a 10-year deal. I would have loved to see it. The chaos in me would have loved to see him go to Baltimore, but alas, maybe next year. I mean, any Houston Astros fan I had seen said he was coming back. They felt confident in and all that good stuff. And then he goes to Minnesota. I mean, that's so shocking, especially because Minnesota still is a couple pieces away from being a for sure contender again in that division. Sure, Byron Buxton's coming back. You have Jorge Polanco, all that good stuff, but they still need more pitching. Right now, the biggest additions they've made is Dylan Bundy, who is a roll of the dice at this moment. I mean, which version of Dylan Bundy are you getting, good or bad? And then you have Sonny Gray, who effective but not like an ace. But with Correa signing with the Twins and the Twins having a year to really sweeten his feel for Minnesota, I 100% expect the Twins to add another starting pitcher. With a lot of the options off the free agent market, you gotta expect that they're going to be looking at trades. And I mean, we've already seen them linked to it, but it just makes 100% certain now. I feel like it's happening. They're definitely going to be making an effort to try to get either Frankie Montas or Sean Manaea of the Oakland Athletics. It makes too much sense. And they have exciting pieces to do it. I mean, you've got some young players, like you've seen Brent Rooker, we've seen Alex Kirilloff. They also have a really good prospect, which falls 90th on the top 100 list by Baseball America, and that's Jose Miranda. I'd be kind of shocked to see them trade him, but I mean, between AA and AAA last year, the man posted a 973 OPS. I mean, he's a nice prospect, and I think he could totally get it done, but you got to expect to see Oakland and Minnesota talking the next couple days, seeing if they can get a starter. I do like this move for the Twins, though. It shows that they're willing to spend money, compete. They dumped the $22 million of Josh Donaldson. I don't know why the Yankees took that on when they could have just honestly went and signed Correa for the same exact deal. And I mean, sure, it's more than the $22 million to 35, 22. I get it, but like, it's the Yankees. They've got money. It's just kind of shocking for me because I mean, with Correa, we're looking at a 7.2 WAR player last year. He's phenomenal. In 555 at bats, he had 26 home runs, 34 doubles and 1 triple. He looked good. 279 batting average, 366 on base. He had an OPS at 850 with an OPS plus at 131. I mean, what's not to like? Good defense there too. Carlos Correa is a very good shortstop, if not one of the best. I said one of the best. Don't get mad at me. Don't get mad at me, comment section. I still just think it's interesting that Minnesota jumped out to get him. I mean, again, fantastic player, another giant threat in that lineup. Gonna be fun to see Minnesota competing in that AL Central, which is typically a weaker division. But it's nice to see that after them doing well and then all of a sudden last year having a nightmare season, they didn't just roll over and start selling. I'm looking at you, the Reds. I don't know. It'll be interesting. Does Minnesota go out and get a starting pitcher? Am I paranoid? Are they a contending team without even going to get another starter? Let me know in the comment section down below. I'm super interested to hear your thoughts. Also, do you like fantasy sports? Because today's sponsor is Underdog Fantasy. Underdog Fantasy is a fun way to play daily fantasy sports. If you think you know what you're talking about, you can take a look at their pick'em games, which I'm a ginormous fan of. Pick the under, over of whatever player, build your slip. The more players you put in your slip, the higher the multiplier. Take a look at Underdog today. Promo code DaddyD. They will match your first deposit up to $100. So you put 10 in, you get 20. You put 50 in, you get 100. Or you put 100, you get 200. You get what I'm saying. And of course, don't forget, pick'em games also work in baseball, which is coming up. I mean, it's gonna be pretty fun. So overall, Twins made a great move. Sorry, Houston fans. I'm sorry. Don't get mad at me. But seeing him go to different teams kind of fun. Now, there was another signing today. Of course, we got to see Nick Castellanos, a drive to deep left field. He is now a Philadelphia Philly. Now, it's interesting because the Phillies ranked as one of the worst defensive teams in baseball last year. So I guess they said, screw it. We can't find defense. We're just going to find even more offense and just hit absolute taters. Who needs to field a ground ball when you can hit 743 home runs in a game? That's exactly what they've done. They had another fantastic pack with Nick Castellanos to go along with Kyle Schwarber. Phillies look very, very good. I also like some of the bullpen pieces they've added. But with this deal, Castellanos gets a 5-year deal from Philly for $100 million. Not that bad, especially with the way Philly has money. They can totally stomach this if things go south. This deal does not contain an opt-out like the Correa deal. But regardless, Philly fans, you should be stoked. I mean, you have a lineup that has an MVP Bryce Harper. You have Kyle Schwarber, I mean, who just hits dongs. And then you have Nicholas Castellanos. I mean, you guys are kind of unfair. And I know some of you guys wanted Chris Bryant pretty badly, and he probably would have fit the bill. He's a little bit better defensively than the other two options, but you end up getting both for a smaller commitment in terms of what full-length contract of Chris Bryant was. I think you take that any day. 2 is better than 1. I do love how Castellanos started his career in Detroit, which is notoriously not the best park to be a hitter in. And then once he was a free agent, he was like, I'm going to the Reds where I can hit more, and he exploded. And now he's also going to Philly, which he should hit 100% fine in. I mean, hey, know your strengths. Castellanos had 531 at bats last year, hitting 309. He had a 362 on base percentage and a 576 slugging, bringing his OPS to a 939. Monstrous. His OPS plus was a 136. He's a good hitter. He cranked out 34 home runs while also dropping 38 doubles, and he even got a triple. I mean, he finished 12th in the MVP voting last year. He was a silver slugger. The NL East is honestly shaping up to be a really good division. I know it was kind of weak last year, but like we saw the Mets go out and get Scherzer. We also saw them bolster their lineup a little bit here and there with Canha, Escobar, and Marte. You got the Phillies going out there and getting Schwarber and Castellanos. Team no defense. And then you got all the moves the Braves have been doing, and the Marlins youth taking the next step as they continue their careers. I mean, honestly, pretty exciting stuff. And that's not even mentioning the fact that we get to see the Nationals, who have Nelson Cruz as the DH, hitting absolute taters. Pretty gross division. But let me know what you think about this, Phillies fans. Are you worried about the defense? Are you worried about potentially sacrificing that for a lot of offense? I don't think you should, but you never know. You might be. I like reading your opinions, so make sure you leave it in the comment section down below. And then I know quite a few Braves fans follow me, so the moment you've been waiting for, AA is a wizard. He pulled another one out of his hat, and it's shocking. The Braves have signed a new closer, or at least another late inning arm, and Kenley Jansen. They're going to sign him to a 1-year, $16 million deal. I'm going to be honest with you. I didn't expect AA to be dropping any more double-digit million-dollar deals out there. I pretty much assumed that their spending was done, at least in large sums. And while it has become a bit of an internet meme that Kenley Jansen is not good or he's washed or whatever, Kenley Jansen is still pretty dang good. There were 138 relievers last year that had 50 or more innings pitched, and Jansen was 15th on that list in ERA and 29th in strikeout percentage. He still has it. He still is generating a lot of swing and misses at a 15% clip. That's pretty dang good as well. And he also continued to not allow his opponents to get a ton of hard contact off him. Hard contact defined by a ball hit 95 or more miles per hour. Jansen only allowed hitters to do that 26% of the time on balls in play against him. He averages 35.4%. The guy had a 2.22 ERA last year, pitching in 69 games last year. Nice. And also pitching 69 innings. Also nice. He got 86 strikeouts, and his whip was a 1.043. He still maintained a pretty high K per 9 at 11.2, although we did see a continuous trend of his control kind of slipping away from him a little bit. His walk per 9s have gone up every single year since 2017. He had a 4.7 walk per 9. So Kenley Jansen honestly needs to try to keep the walks to a limit. So hopefully that trend doesn't continue. He did continue to stop hitters from hitting the long ball. He had a 0.5 home run per 9, and FIP liked him at a 3.08. Honestly, he was pretty phenomenal all year. He just had a really bad July. I've seen on Twitter where some people were saying in the second half, Kenley Jansen couldn't really get it going. But in the second half, I mean, he held hitters to a 132 batting average. I mean, it's kind of nuts when you break down his performance month by month. April to March, he had a 261 ERA. May, he had a 1.5. June, he had a 0. July, he had a 9.39. That's the bad month. August, he had a 1.80. And September, October, he had a 0.66. I mean, the guy was pretty dang good besides those 9 games in July. This makes it a really, really formidable bullpen for the Braves, which, again, again, as somebody who constantly is begging bullpen help to be added to the team in the offseason so we can feel a little bit better moving forward, I'm super stoked. I mean, we've already seen them add Colin McHugh, which looks like a fantastic ad. Kenley Jansen goes along with Will Smith now. I think honestly the way they're going to do late games here is going to be Will Smith being a lefty. If the save is going to require 2 left-handed hitters, I think you're going to be seeing Will Smith. I think if it's 2 right-handed hitters out of 3, you're going to be seeing Kenley Jansen. And it just creates flexibility. It's really nice. Plus, I love seeing that Will Smith was super in, knowing about the negotiations the whole time and said, I don't care, bring him. I want to win another ring. Super cool. To add McHugh and Jansen to a Braves bullpen that already had Tyler Matzik, the nutsack, Luke Jackson, who honestly was pretty impressive last year, and AJ Minter, who, I mean, there's hope. It's pretty awesome. I mean, look at who you lost from the World Series team. You lost Richard Rodriguez, who didn't even make the postseason team. You lost Jesse Chavez, which again, we've upgraded. You lost Chris Martin, which again, you've upgraded. Pretty solid. And I think it's going to be a huge strength for the Braves moving forward. I mean, heck, around the All-Star break, you're even going to see Kirby Yates, who was another former All-Star closer, are coming back from injury. And with Mike Soroka coming back around July, you never know. If they might want to monitor the workload, they might not want to let him start. They might want to throw him in the bullpen. You just have a bunch of options coming later. It's almost like you made a trade without making a trade. Now, of course, it also does create a fun scenario that the Braves and the Dodgers, they could meet in the postseason again. We could see a Kenley Jansen, Freddie Freeman showdown in the postseason in 2022, which would be super interesting. I mean, of course, I'm rooting for Kenley Jansen, but you know. And then with this signing, it also pushes the Braves' salary up to $185 million on the year. Now, management did say they were going to increase the payroll coming off a World Series, but to how high, nobody really knows. I mean, are they going to the luxury tax threshold? To give you an idea, that's $22 million of room. The Braves still could do that. And AA even hinted at possibly making another move. Justin Toscano on Twitter had said that AA said he would love to add an impact starting pitcher, but that hasn't presented itself, whether it's free agency or trade yet. Now, that would be very interesting if they do something. Now, I can't imagine it's via the trade market, but I also can't imagine free agent at the same time. There's not many options left, but with trades, they've already depleted their farm system pretty badly with the Matt Olson trade. And of course, the rankings of the farm had already kind of tanked a little bit after so many promotions and a couple players in the minor leagues that were top prospects slipping a little bit. So it'll be interesting to see what they do. I'm interested to know your opinion though. Which starter do you think the Braves should try to get? Comment down below. I'm interested to know your opinions and thoughts on it. Of course, let me know what you think about Kenley Jansen, all the other signings we talked about today. I would really appreciate it. If you're new to the channel, click the subscribe button. It helps me a ton. And of course, leave a like on the video. It helps me a lot. But I hope you have a fantastic day and I will see you all in the next one. Peace.